Welcome back into the final play. We're joined now by Larry Holder, Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. So, LSU rated number 1 in the preseason. Deservedly so?
I think so. Even despite the loss of Tyrann Mathieu, I still think they're number 1, maybe number 2 in some people's eyes, with USC, Alabama kind of floating around there. And I think the main reason there is that they have a capable quarterback coming in. I've touted Zach Mettenberg. I wrote a column about him over the summer. And I feel like he was the missing piece they wish they would have had last year. Honestly, I'm sure LSU fans are wondering why he didn't play last year. Maybe he could have done a difference. But I think Zach Mettenberger coming in, a lot of scouts see him. He's only thrown 11 passes throughout his whole college career, and a lot of draft pundits and scouts see him as a late first-round pick already. So imagine if he comes in and plays well. That, to me, is probably their number 1 reason. Outside of the defense, I think they're very stout there still.
Had to whip that dead horse just a little bit more, didn't you?
I can't help it. Can you help yourself? No, it's impossible.
Well, the thing about Mettenberger, too, is he gives you a vertical game. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch, isn't it, for the
Absolutely.
fans?
And you saw it in the spring game. And Les Miles, even after the national championship game, Les was saying, we could throw the ball vertically, and people, again, here's that horse. Why didn't you just have that in last year? But he's going to give you a dynamic threat. I know you lose some of your vertical game with Ruben Randall going in the NFL, but you're going to try to use Odell Beckham there. I know Russell Shepard, and you have some other guys there as well. So he is the prototypical quarterback. 6'5", he looks the part, he talks the part, and let's see if he can play the part.
Let's talk about the defense. No Mathieu, but still very, very strong, right?
Yeah, I brought up earlier in the show. Kiki Mingo, Sam Montgomery, Eric Reed, they're all first-team preseason All-Americans for a reason. They can make plays. Of course, you also have Anthony Johnson from O. Perry Walker, the freak. He's only a sophomore. I know Benny Logan is going to be there as well. So lots of playmakers on that defense. And John Chavis, ever since he's gotten to LSU as the defensive coordinator, he's put together groups that can get the job done, and I don't expect anything less there.
Listening to Chavis talk, he makes me want to play.
That's why they call him the Chief. He pounds that drum, and people play for him.
Exactly right.
Exactly, yeah, and that's a reason why it's been consistent ever since he's been there.
Now let's talk about the competition outside of Tuscaloosa in the SEC. Where's the stiffest competition going to come from for LSU?
You would have thought Arkansas. I don't know, though, because of the Bobby Petrino incident. And then you look over in the East, maybe Georgia, but they lose their top running back who's had tons of legal problems. He's finally gone. To me, it's LSU's to lose. LSU, Alabama. I think you can't. Tuscaloosa is the obvious, but they're obvious for a reason. National champions. But if I'm going to have to pick a team, I would still maybe look at Arkansas, and I would still maybe look at Georgia as those two teams that could challenge for the overall SEC title, again, outside of Tuscaloosa.
Outside of Tuscaloosa. And you've got expansion to talk about. Texas A&M is in. Missouri's in. How much of a factor are they going to be?
Not much, in my opinion. Not early, at least. I think them being in the SEC will help them later in recruiting and such. I think Texas A&M is going to have a tough time. LSU goes to College Station. I don't think that's going to be pretty for Texas A&M. And Missouri, again, a team that could be good sometimes and that could fall back to the wayside at sometimes. But at first, I wouldn't bet on them making it to Atlanta, at least this year.
All right. Now, do you see anybody other than, when I'm looking at it, I see USC being very, very good. Anybody other than USC outside of this conference that's going to challenge for the national championship?
Maybe Florida State. I know E.J. Manuel's a quarterback who and Jimbo Fisher's there. LSU fans are obviously familiar with him from his days in Baton Rouge. But USC, I think, is their prime target. And you look at Matt Barkley, there's a reason why he came back. And Lane Kiffin, I can't believe he's held the ship together, but he has. I think it's going to come down to either LSU, USC, or Alabama to play for the national title.
You heard it here first.